Hello everyone, Scott Connery, West Ham Fan TV. Welcome to the big match preview. This video is sponsored by OneFootball. The OneFootball app is the easiest way to keep up to date with all your latest transfer news, scores and stats, all in one easy place. To download the OneFootball app, click the link in the description below. Straight on with a preview, we take on Fulham, 7:45 kickoff on Friday night. Looking to move on after that disappointing performance against Palace. You know, the 1-1 draw. Poor second half. As I said on the post-match reaction, you know, I thought we went negative far too quickly, you know, trying to hold out a 1-0 win. And, you know, we got punished. And if it wasn't for Fabianski, I think, you know, we got away with it a bit. But, you know, we've had a couple of weeks rest. We've got players coming back, which we'll get to a little later. So, you know, we've got to be pushing on. Last time these two sides met, it was a 2-0 victory to the Hammers at Craven Cottage. But it wasn't a vintage performance. You know, we scored 2 goals, in my opinion, against the run of play. You know, I remember Mitrovic and Kamara having chances to put Fulham ahead before we'd even scored. And I think it was more down to the lack of poor finishing from Fulham, which they seem to have suffered from most of the season. You know, why we got away with a 3 point and a clean sheet. Also, a decent performance again by Fabianski. You know, he's come to our rescue quite a lot this season. We saw it against Palace, the couple of decent saves he made in the first half there, and a couple of saves he made in the second half as well. So, you know, there's a few times Fabianski's come to our rescue this season and got us out of stuck. You know, this isn't going to be an easy game. Fulham's form at the moment is terrible. They've got 1 win in their last 6. Their last game, they got beat 3-0 against Manchester United. So they'll be looking to bounce back from that. They're second from bottom at the moment. You know, they've conceded 2 goals in, I think, nearly, well, a majority of their games this season, especially away from home. You know, they've got a terrible record. But their performances haven't been that bad. It's just been the lack of quality in front of goal that's been really letting them down. You know, and they've had a few decisions go against them. They've had key goals scored really late on in games. So, you know, they're trying to turn the corner. As I said, they do play some decent stuff. They play some good stuff in the game against the 2 sides earlier on in the season. So we can't go into this overconfident. You know, we've seen that many a time this season. I've said this in a few previews. We need to be on it from the start. You know, the last home game we had was the 1-1 draw with Liverpool. It was a quality performance. Should have got all 3 points in that game. So we need to take that performance and that mentality in that Liverpool game and take it into this home fixture. You know, start winning our home games. Start making the London Stadium a bit of a fortress. You know, we can't use excuses now of why we can't perform there. We've been there long enough. So, you know, we need to now push on for that. As I said, injury-wise, we've got some good news. Marko Arnautovic is fully fit now. You know, he's had that extra time to recovery, coming against Palace. Didn't do a lot, but to be fair, the performance in the second half, there was no balls through to him anyway. So I fully expect him to come straight into the starting lineup. The good competition is at right back. Fredericks, another good game against Palace. You know, he'll be wanting to stake a claim in the side now. I said 2 decent performances he's had, putting a bit of pressure on Zabaleta. Zabaleta, we know, you know, masterclass of a defender. You know, absolutely brilliant white back. So it's good options for us to have. I wish we had them options on our left-hand side. You know, and that's the frustrating thing for me. So yeah, that's great news. Nasri and Lanzini returning to full training. Hopefully, Lanzini will definitely be involved in the game on Friday. Nasri, probably 50-50. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But it's a big boost having 2 players of their quality, their calibre and the creativity that they bring to a game will just push us on for the rest of the season. Fulham do have their own injury concerns. No Mason. They've got doubts over Haven Norvite, obviously former West Ham player, and Markovic, I do believe his name is pronounced. New signings as well, both of them. So they've got doubts on them. So they're hoping to have them back, have a bit more steel with Norvite coming into their midfield. He can also play centre-back, as we know. We've seen him play there before for West Ham. I fully expect Fulham to line up in a 4-2-3-1 formation with Mitrovic leading the line. You know, tricky customer. He is one to watch. You know, they've got, as I said, they've got some good players. They've just not been getting results that performances have been warranting. So we have to be careful. Our form isn't that great going into this game either. Obviously, 1 win in our last 6 fixtures, and you throw in defeats there to obviously AFC, Wimbledon, the poor performance against Wolves. But on the flip side, you had that really decent performance against Arsenal, which we went on to win, and the 1-1 draw with Liverpool. As I said, a game that we could have easily won as well. So going into this one, I'm very, very confident. You know, as I said, we can't take it to, you know, we can't look at it, it's an easy win. But I just think we're just going to have too much for Fulham. I think the break would have done us good. Players coming back to full fitness. Players now with points to prove. You know, Arnautovic coming back in. I think, I'm quite certain this is his first home game since the way he went off and bid farewell the previous time that he played. So, you know, he's got a point. He's not got a point to prove. He's got to prove to us why we should support him again. You know, as soon as he pulls on a West Ham shirt, we will back him. But he's got a lot to prove to us now. We saw the performances he can put in. We saw the quality that he's got. But he's got a lot of making up to do to the West Ham fans. Probably too late for some fans. But as I said, as soon as he pulls on that shirt, we get behind him because we want him to do well. Because if he does well, the team does well. But as I said, he's got a point to prove. So as I said, I am confident going this one. I think Arnie, with his point to prove, will go out there and put a decent performance in. I fancy him to score, and I fancy us for a 2-1 victory as well. So, you know, we'll have to see how that pans out. I'll probably get some ribbing if we end up losing this game and Fulham keep the clean sheet. You know, it does normally happen. It's the curse, isn't it? But yeah, thank you very much for watching. The guys will be about after the game filming fan cams next to the stadium store. Make sure you come down, give everything your opinion. Even if you want to come down and say hello, the lads are always there. There will be a post-match reaction, but not a post-match point, obviously, because it's a night game. And I'll be back next week with another preview. Thank you very much. One thing left to say, come on, you Irons.